Okay, it's Rick again, and we're gonna go and do this episode. It's number 4. Trying to write this Wordle game. It's taken a while, but hey, that's what happens. I'm learning a lot, and I've also been learning a lot offline. But now we're gonna continue with our progress to implement this game. A few things. I've updated the design to include what we're going for with the letter, so you can see what we're kind of what we're about. When we have a letter that's in the right spot and that is in the word, of course it has to be in the word, then it's green, and I've labeled it green here, and we're going to come to that when we implement the actual object. There's also the same thing with yellow when it's in the word but not in the correct spot, and then finally gray when it's not anywhere. Notice these color markings. This is what we're going for. This is what we're going to try to design for. So let's code that up. And again, back here in this world, and to drive the tests, we're going to manipulate the class here. So we're going to test this letter, and I'm going to go to I was looking at this and realized that one of the things that we could do is just check that this is actually a letter. And in order to do that, we can do something like this. Test. I'm going to name it this way. I don't know what the best practice is here, but let's just keep going with it. Test that. And you'll notice that I'm using camel case, which is a style of writing where all of the words have no spaces between them, and that the indication of a new word is the uppercase. There's other different ways to write variable names, and I'm going to use camel case. I'm going to try to use camel case because it's what I'm doing at work, and it makes it easier for me to think about. It makes it easier when I go back and forth that I'm doing the same thing. But I've often just forgotten what thing I'm making, and I'll slip into putting an underscore in there. And I'm just grateful that computer languages can't tolerate spaces in variable names. So we have here that the letter is a letter, and we're going to probably have a function here like something like this, my letter, and then it'll return a letter, maybe value or something like this, and then we can use something like isLetter. There's a function like this. So let's go to the REPL. I'll show you what I'm going for. What do I got here? So now I'm going to say let my letter equal, we'll just put here letter, I'll just put here A. Oh, okay. So this is funny. I'm already thinking that we're using this class. It's already got stuff in it. you remember there's nothing in here yet to indicate that this is a letter. So the class that implements letter is, oh, I think I lost it already. Oh, here is a character. So we see here a character inside of a string. These are individual characters inside of a string, and you can concatenate characters as well as concatenate strings, so on and so forth. And these are the kinds of things that this page is helpful to, at least for me, to understand like where everything, how everything is going to be implemented. So let's we're going to use a character, and I wish there was an index here. Is this it? No, it's not. No, here it is. Yeah, string interpolation, counting characters. So let's working with characters. But you can see that there's a class called character, so I'm going to just do this. And what we can do is say my letter is, and then I can press tab, and we could see that it's letter, it's a Boolean, and it's true. So that's what we're going for in this test, but we need to put the letter somewhere. So one of the things that caused me to learn was the initializers. No? Was it functions? Yeah, functions. So self-contained units of code. I'm going to close this. Now I see here, this is actually, that's new for me. Didn't realize that the documentation was written that way. Maybe if I just open this thing all the way up, it might display both. No, it's one or the other. Yeah, if you open it up really wide, you can see both the main navigation and the subsections. But what I'm going for is this arguments. Parameters are the thing that your function will accept, and they can be labeled with an argument label, and the argument label is optional. They can be done. So this is the parameter, but I could also put an argument label here like this. Oh, like this. From is the argument label, and I see here person is the parameter, but it serves as the argument label. You'll see. So what will happen, let's go and code this. We're going to make a letter, and we're going to bring in a letter class. So I'm going to put in something like yeah, so this is going to be character. And I'm just going to quickly look at what I had done before to be sure. Adds a letter. Yeah, I'm looking ahead to what I did before, and I just realized, oh, I was going in the wrong direction. I don't want to. This is the magic behind this, the work here. I'm just looking at the previous work that I had done offline. That's all. And I'd rather try to do this live, which will help reinforce what I know. And really, I'm following along with this. Yeah, we're going to do something like that. So, but you can see I've already kind of went off track by putting in letter here, or by putting in character. Let's see, keep going. We need to take this character and put it somewhere, so I'll do that by doing this. I think it was character C, and I think that's how I do it. I'm gonna check my previous work. Nope, I'm wrong. This is supposed to say var car character, something like that. That declares a variable, and it also, if you remember, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be inside of a it's supposed to be private. Now, as you saw me typing there, Xcode is doing its thing, compiling and doing stuff in the background, and I don't know if I'll be ever entirely used to that. But here, now I get to initialize this variable and say car equal car. But in order to refer to this variable, we actually will use we'll actually refer to it using the self. Now again, this is part of what I was looking at. Let's see, self, one match in here? Let me go here. One second. So here we can do, as I'm looking at this, we can do shorthand getter, something like, wow, these are getters, but let's see if somebody mentions this word self. Yeah. That's interesting. Here they didn't need to mention self, but I thought I remember getting complaints about this. I'm going to change this to C, back to what I had it before. Let's see if the yeah, that's a little better. And what I can do now is do something like this. isLetter. And we can do the assertion like the other test that we saw before. So I'm going to code that up. One of the things that's good about the Xcode is that I can do completion here. So if I do assert and then the space or control space, I can see the options. And this is going to be true. isLetter. Yeah. And this isLetter is from here. Nope. From here. Oh, you know, I think I'm already past it. Let's do this. No. All right. So I go back to, it was another place I was just at today. So let me just find it. Yeah, so this is where I'm at now, doing subscripts, but it's a little ahead of us. Yeah, was it string, and then it's amazing. There's character. Let's take a look at what the documentation is for this. And I'm just going to click on character. I like that the links are really good, or at least in that particular case it was really good. So here we go. Hopefully here, maybe it'll show me down here. Yeah, character. And so there's some functions here, and there's the isBool, and it's just a Boolean value, just a getter. So this is all that it is with programming. We're looking at the manual or Stack Overflow or wherever you get your internet answers, maybe the artificial intelligence, and you're trying it. So that's what we're going to do here. You got to put in a letter, and let's see what that does. All right, and now you see it's doing work, and my computer is also doing the live stream. So you see the build succeeded, but now it's missing the argument label, which bothers me because I thought oh, you need the argument label. Okay. And you can put in something like this here, my letter. Now this may complain about it's missing my letter. Let's see what it does, and pay attention up here. This is where it's doing its work, and I think, if I remember right, and this is why I keep thinking maybe I won't do everything in Xcode, because I'm really just waiting for the computer to catch up. Yeah, so you can see it's now wanting the argument label. So there's a lot of funky syntax like this. Just saved it. And now we got this error. And I knew I'd get this. It's inaccessible because it's internal only. So honestly, I can just make this public for now. But that would mean that I can always change it without using the initializer. It's almost like it's a little I think risky to do it this way. But let's just, for the sake of testing, get this to pass, or at least get this to compile. Yeah, see, that looks good. Now, to run this test, one of the things I learned is that you can just press this button here. It's the equivalent of going up here. Nope. Yeah, it's the equivalent of going here and pressing this button here. Or, since before my great frustration, I could also just come here and press test. But since there's only one test, I'll just fire it up this way. But you can see there are a lot of different buttons here, and watch what happens with this. And these little empty boxes will get filled in with the status. This one here. So again, we're paying attention to this to see how fast it's working. Let's see how far it gets. I'm going to put something in the chat while this is going on. Now it's doing the test, but obviously it's taking a while. Maybe if I make the window active, it'll do it faster. Honestly thinking about figuring out how to set this up differently to be a little more, to make more efficient use. There's also some settings here. Or I can do, I think there's some oh, it looks like it passed. Yeah. I'll show you that in a second. You can see that it passed here. I'm surprised it didn't fill this in. And the other thing that I learned was that there are reports here. So if I click on this, I can see the report of the test that was run today. You can see that the test example, is it called test example? I thought I renamed it. Oh no, this is it here, test example. Hang on here. Yeah, running tests, but I wonder if this is interesting to me because I thought I would have the test name that I gave it. Let's look at this output real quick. It should say testThatLetterIsALetter. Oh, you know what? I don't think it was here. I think I pressed the wrong test. Let me go here. No? I'm gonna get these memorized at some point, but yeah, this test, it doesn't have the test that I just wrote is not in this section here. I'm not sure why, but oh, I know it. Look at that. operator error. I didn't look at the right spot. Oh my goodness. So let's run this test. Yeah. See, now I don't even have to look at this. You can close that and then just wait for this to finish. Wow, operator error, big time. Yeah, so here it is, green, and this is the one that was the other test here. You can see that that's green, but that's the original test that came with the project. These are the new tests, but you kind of see what's going on here. There's a bunch going on, but I'm gonna go and commit this code, and this could be it for tonight. The design of this is to eventually print this, but we want to have some good tests so that when we make changes, it'll like do the right thing. I'm gonna put here. Yeah. Yeah, so here you can see the difference, but I mentioned yesterday that Xcode has support for working with Git. So here you can see that there are places, there's an indication that shows M for modified. If I double click, it shows what has changed. Before it was this, and now it is this. And that's helpful. And same thing up here. If I double click here, you can see again the changes. Now, again, I'm not sure how to get rid of this view, but oh wait, I think it might be this. Yeah, that might have been it. If I click on this, yeah. Again, this was me fooling around with it, but this is the code review. But I can just disable it so I can see my file as I know what it looks like. But as I mentioned, I'm way more comfortable with Git on the command line, so I'm going to do a lot of my Git operations just on the command line, but I will take advantage of the code review screen to highlight things as I need to. Now I just realized I could probably I could have put the test in the same commit as the change. That might be a good practice. We'll try to do that for the next time. And I know I could git reset and all that stuff, but let's just keep going with the test. Adding it in. I just print what's inside the staging area. Brother. There, so that's what coding looks like, and what we'll do next time is start to mess around with the, again, with this design. And it feels like we're going really slow, and I think that's the whole point of this. But I am going pretty fast offline. But even though I already went through it, I'm still fumbling around and finding some things. I haven't fully worked it out, and it's going to look a little different. But I'm just going to keep going this way and see how that works for people or for myself. And I will mention that my music, just a last note, my music is the YouTube music, something I found here, DivKid. And if it's all the same to you, I'm just going to listen to this for the entire duration of this project. So we'll be enjoying DivKid's 8 ambient songs. All right, well, we'll catch up with everybody next time.